Water is rapidly on the move and it's damaging our homes, streets, and places of work. It can be easy to point fingers and place the blame solely on climate change for water threatening the safety of our communities and our landscapes. But climate change isn't the only factor causing changes in how water moves. It's our infrastructure choices too. Traditional storm water management in the form of gray infrastructure puts us in a fighting position against water, imprisoning its flows in pipes and drains. We've lined riverbeds with concrete, narrowed stream beds, drained wetlands, blocked off floodplains, and when we try to resist and restrict what water wants, it retaliates back, forcefully. This past September, Leominster, Massachusetts was pummeled by torrential downpours. With 10 inches of rain falling in just 4 hours, life-threatening flash floods quickly became a frightening reality. Vulnerable residents had no choice but to watch as the merciless water charged into their businesses, schools, and homes, sparing no property in its path. The hilly topography of Leominster exacerbated the issue, sending the water to flow across surfaces at lightning speed. Existing problems in one of their dams forced residents in low-lying areas to evacuate, and altogether, up to 300 individuals were evacuated, many by boat. Streets were sucked through sinkholes, most buildings were flooded, and several even collapsed. The University of Louisville in Kentucky faced a similar catastrophe in 2009 when 7 inches of rain fell in just over an hour, causing about $15 million in damage. The common denominator comes down to one factor: lots of gray and not enough green. Many cities lack green space, with impervious surfaces and gray infrastructure dominating instead. When cities lack soil, vegetation, and permeable surfaces, water has nowhere to infiltrate. It falls rapidly across the concrete, ending up in the nearest waterway or into drains that are becoming overwhelmed by the increased volume of water flowing in. In both scenarios, flooding is always possible and can cause severe damage, like in Leominster and Louisville. The University of Louisville set an example for other communities by responding promptly with a variety of green infrastructure. Rain barrels, vegetated roofs, rain gardens, cisterns, and bioswales are all implemented to facilitate groundwater recharge through infiltration. Impervious surfaces in lots, roadways, plazas, and sidewalks were replaced with pervious pavement, tree boxes, infiltration trenches, and paver strips, and this all allows water to access soil while avoiding existing utilities. The remaining hard surfaces and fast runoff areas were equipped with large underground infiltration basins to collect rainwater. And with these improvements, the university diverts 72 million gallons of stormwater every year. A crucial part of green infrastructure is the role soil plays in slowing water. If soil is weak or shallow, the water infiltrates slowly, and the surface layers become saturated more quickly. When the soil can't hold as much water, more runoff occurs. Deepening healthy soils allows water to be absorbed and slowly released from the ground over time. From above to below ground, vegetation aids in decreasing runoff and sedimentation, all while helping to regulate the water cycle. Above ground, plant leaves intercept rainfall, stop water from hitting the ground at high speeds, and slow water flowing across the surface. Below ground, plant roots improve soil erosion resistance by holding soil particles together. Plants remove water from the soil through evapotranspiration, preventing it from becoming oversaturated by rainstorms. Overall, vegetation can reduce surface runoff by more than 50% and soil erosion by over 90%. The number and severity of extreme precipitation events will only increase alongside climate change, and water will only get faster, unless we start making some changes in consideration of water's natural flows, needs, and rights. The events of Louisville and Leominster can't be treated as unforeseen disasters or accidents beyond our control. We must be proactive and stop working against water and learn to work with it instead. We need to make our cities spongier. It can be as simple as planting trees with sufficient soil or reclaiming land along the banks of local creeks and rivers to absorb excessive rainfall. Green infrastructure, often literally green in itself, actively collaborates with nature, leveraging the capabilities of soil and vegetation to infiltrate, redistribute, and store stormwater volume, making communities safer and healthier. Rain gardens are green infrastructure. Tree canopy is green infrastructure. Permeable pavement is green infrastructure. When we think green and act green, we secure a healthier and safer environment for all forms of life.